Hello, my name is Arcadia Page, and today I want to talk a bit about blogging with authentic expression, like authentic self expression in blogging. So, just to introduce myself a little bit, I already said my name. I'm Arcadia Page, and I am an intuitive writer. I'm an intuitive writer and artist. There we go. And I've been blogging for a long time. I've been blogging ever since 2016, I believe, and I have published around 11 books, I think. So, yeah, I've been doing this writing thing for a very long time. One of my main strengths as a writer is being able to express myself authentically, especially in my blog posts. I have gone to quite a few different networking events with other different online business people. And a lot of times, a lot of them are curious about, blogging, especially like how to blog in a way that is authentic and that shows who you really are. Because it's really, I feel like, especially since, like, I don't know, maybe the 2010s, blogging has taken definitely a more of a how to sort of vibe. And also, along with the rise of they have those links, those affiliate links. A lot of blogging has been reduced to listicles and ways to try to, like, plug in that product that the blogger wants to promote in order to get the affiliate payments. So because of that, blogging has lost a lot of artistry. And this can be really difficult because, especially for some online business people, blogging authentically is important because they view it as a potential way to not only connect with people, but also to be what's called a thought leader, which is basically like an influencer, someone that has an impact on the mindsets and the way that other people approach their lives. And it's kind of hard to write that sort of thing if the only examples of blogging that you've seen are about creating listicles and how-to articles and all these things that are very practical, but not very soulful. So, as a blogger, for me, one of my main things that I feel makes me stand out as a blogger is that my focus is on writing authentically. So, a few things about writing authentically, some of the really fun things about being a blogger that writes authentically. Um, one of the fun lessons that I've learned from blogging this way is that it's important for me to write the way that I talk. When I first started blogging, I was doing it not for like anything important. I was just blogging because I was creating a webcomic back in the day, and a lot of webcomic artists had blogs along with it. They have like creator blogs to go along with their webcomics. So I decided that would be cool to make a creator blog to share my process of creating my webcomic, and that's how I got into blogging. So, of course, like when you start blogging from that sort of angle, you're not sitting around thinking about, like, oh, what are the keywords or what's my niche or any of this stuff. The main thing that you want to focus on is just writing the experience. And just from that, I just wrote the way that I talked. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to overthink this. I'll just write the way that I naturally express myself. So that's one of the main lessons I learned, and it's still something that I follow today, is that I try to write the way that I talk. Of course, I don't do it too literally because then that would be very hard to read. If you've ever read a transcript, transcripts are really hard to read because it has all the ums and things like that. Not to that extent, but I do try to write in the way that I normally express myself. And as you get better at writing, right, okay. As you get better at writing the way that you talk, there we go. It eventually goes from writing the way that you speak to writing the way that the words arrive in your head. I know everyone's brains work differently, but in my mind, I have a voice that I have like it sounds terrible, but in my mind I have that little voice talking in my head, it's not everyone has that, believe it or not, but yes, but I have that little voice talking in my head. So the more that I write, the more that I get better at I've gone from writing just the way that I speak to writing in the way that the voice in my head speaks. So that I feel like that just comes from experience and a lot of writing, because I kind of feel like at first it's kind of hard to hear that voice inside of you. But after you write for a while, like after I think, oh, how would I say this if I was talking? And after a while, it's like the voice in my head is like, okay, what is that little voice in my head saying, or trying to express this? And I just write it from there. So just writing the way that I talk, writing the way of natural expression that comes naturally to me, either from my voice or from the words that go through my head. The next fun lesson that I've learned about blogging authentically, is that the best thing about blogging authentically is that people can learn from my real life experiences. Like right now, we're in the age of AI. It's like you can get information anywhere on anything. Information is so easy to get. Like you can get information on stuff from books, from Wikipedia, from Google. There's nothing special about information. There really isn't. But there is something special about your life experience, because your life experience is unique to you, and your life experiences have real value. They really do. And I think this is something that a lot of business people are looking for when they are like, how can I blog better, or how can I blog more authentically? Is because when you write about your real life experiences and what you've learned and put out the value of your life experience, that's when you connect with people. And I think that's one of my favorite things about blogging authentically, is that it's really allowed me to connect with people. I can share the things that I care about. I can share about the things that I've learned in my real life, and other people can resonate with that. And it creates a connection, and it has a value that goes beyond just information. Like I said, you can get information from anywhere, but your life experience is something unique to you and something special. So that's another thing that I love about blogging authentically. So it's not all, roses. Blogging from an authentic space. I don't do listicles. I'm not like a really big, well, I have done some listicles in the past, but it does become a bit soulless. So I only do it if it's meaningful. I don't do affiliate links just because that just doesn't fit the way that I work as a writer. And I feel like for me personally, it hurts my creativity. And I've seen in the blogging space that tends to hurt the creativity of the bloggers that rely a lot on that too. They're not, it's like, I feel like bloggers that rely a lot on affiliate links, sometimes their posts aren't very creative because they're very focused on making sure that we click through, or that I click through on whatever they're trying to pitch to me. In any case, some of the hard things though about being someone that blogs from a space of authenticity is that, first of all, starting out, it is awkward. It really is, especially like if you're used to writing very informational and giving people information. Writing from your inner voice can be very awkward. I remember I'll be back on some of my first blog posts that I wrote back when I was just starting, and I was like, wow, some of these are so awkward. It's like they are real for sure. They sound like me, but they are still very awkward. But the cool thing about it is that since I was just starting out with my blog, no one really knew how awkward it was, because it was like they had nothing to compare it to. Now, readers probably look at my new blog post and look at my old blog post and they're like, wow, your writing has changed a lot. And it has changed a lot. It's grown a lot. But yeah, it will be awkward starting out, but it does get better, most definitely. Another hard thing about blogging authentically is that it is not the fast route to growth. I know a lot of people are like, oh, do this to grow fast. Like, it is not fast when you are being authentic, because first of all, there's the challenge to figure out what being authentic is in the first place. Like, what is real for you? Of course, like writing about your experiences is about as real as it can get. But even still, there are a lot of layers to blogging authentically, beyond just having like your real life experience, writing it in a way that's true to you and then also presenting it in a way that's true to you, and then sharing it with others in a way that feels right for you instead of just following what you think you should do or what other people think that you should do. So that can be difficult. So quite honestly, like as a blogger, blogging authentically is definitely not the fast route to like fame, money, and fortune at all, for many reasons. However, it is real, and the connections that you form with people are very real. So if that's your goal, like if it's your goal to connect with people in a very real way and have them connect with your real life experience, then blogging authentically is a fantastic way to do so. It just takes longer, because it is so real and it doesn't rely on tricks or gimmicks. And honestly, even doing search engine optimization using keywords can be a slow process because you're not writing for keywords, you're writing to express your experience. So the process is slower than if you just like focused on, what automatically gets to people, like what hits them right away, instead oversharing like what's real for you. So those are a few lessons that I have learned about blogging. Um, I feel like the biggest thing the biggest thing to deal with the difficult things and the different challenges that come with blogging authentically is probably patience, patience to work with it, and a willingness to learn more about your craft and just learn more about how to express your life experiences in a way that feels true to you. And that just takes time, and it does take showing up for it often, but it really is worth it because the connections made with people are amazing. There are some other things that I've also learned about blogging authentically, just about, when it comes to expression, and also when it comes to just, being vulnerable, trying to figure out how to manage that in blog posts, and also just the pressure of modern blogging. Modern blogging is very pressurized to grow quickly and a lot of things like that. And I've also learned a lot from dealing with those different pressures. So I'll probably be, I'm trying to make like a small masterclass. I'll probably make a small masterclass to talk a bit more about these things in some detail. So yeah, so those are my thoughts on blogging authentically, and I hope you enjoy listening to this.